Hi, I'm Elizabeth Thomas, a speech language pathologist and founder of Phonologics. Mine was a childhood rooted in predictability. As the eldest in a middle class family of working professionals from a small town in Kerala, I didn't grow up with grand dreams. My parents, both professors, placed a strong emphasis on education. The roadmap was clear: study hard, earn a professional degree, land a stable job, and build a respectable life. Growing up, I was never a star student. I didn't collect trophies or top my class. I was studious but shy, the kind of child who avoided the stage. I loved reading and would engross myself in books for hours. But when it came to numbers, it was a completely different story. Math and physics, the two core subjects needed to crack competitive exams, were a nightmare. Back in those days, aptitude tests weren't common, and everyone was expected to chase the same dream, either engineering or medicine. Even I followed the same path. I didn't crack the entrance exam on my first attempt, and I dreaded the idea of having to repeat it again the next year, which was expected. Around that time, a neighbor of ours was attending a relatively unheard of course in speech language pathology. I had no clue what it was, but at that point I was desperate to escape the agony of having to solve endless math problems. So I somehow convinced my parents that I'll join this degree in Mumbai, and just as a temporary option, meanwhile practicing for retaking the entrance exams the next year. Stepping into this course was literally like, entering a new world. Back in those days, terms like autism or developmental disorders was hardly understood. Parents often dismissed speech delay as just a passing phase, and seeking therapy was stigmatized. During one of my very first clinical postings, in the first week of college actually, I was supposed to observe a speech therapy session for a child with autism. So I walked into the session totally unprepared, and within minutes, this child started throwing a tantrum and hitting me and scratching me. I was shocked, but later I realized that something as simple as saying, "I don't like this," or "I don't want to do this," which most of us take for granted, was something which was out of reach for many children. That moment was a real eye-opener for me. This wasn't just a degree. I had found something that was going to shape the rest of my life. It was an opportunity to give a voice to those who were struggling to express themselves. There's this beautiful line from a John Lennon song which goes, "Life is what happens when we are busy planning something else." So in my case too, I was busy preparing something else, and life had something else in store for me. So after completing 5 years in this college, I had just finished my master's, and like most of my batchmates, was preparing to make the obvious choice of moving to the US for better opportunities. But right after college, I got married and I had to stay back in India. Finding meaningful work here was not easy in this field. Jobs were few, systems were totally unstructured, and awareness was very low. Over the next 2 decades, I worked across various organizations in different cities, grabbing whatever opportunities came my way. After many years in this field, one big problem was impossible to ignore. Millions of children were denied access to quality speech therapy. Over 35 million children worldwide experience social isolation due to various conditions like autism, hearing impairment, Down syndrome, cerebral palsy, etc. This not only hinders their ability to connect with others, it also affects their emotional well-being, their academic progress, and future opportunities. I used to meet countless parents from smaller towns who were desperate for help but couldn't find anything nearby. And there were others who were battling social stigma or couldn't afford the frequent one-to-one sessions. Early identification and timely speech and language therapy can be life-changing. It actually helps overcome milder problems and reduce the impact of more severe ones. This is because neuroplasticity is at its peak during the ages of 0 to 3 years, when children's brain is continuing to grow and 80% of brain development is completed. And this period is considered to be the critical period for language development. By then, I knew something had to change. I wasn't happy with just providing speech therapy for a privileged few from the bigger cities. Teletherapy was transforming lives in the West, and India was lagging behind. Around that time, this was somewhere in 2019, when one of my clients, a small 4-year-old boy with autism, was moving to a town with no access to speech therapy. His parents were anxious. He was making steady progress in our program, and the thought of, breaking that progress was really terrifying. So this was a time when teletherapy was unheard of in India. I still remember the first time I suggested trying an online session. His parents were unsure. And of course, I get it. Screen instead of a therapist in a room. So soon he started attending online sessions regularly, and he started making progress. This gave hope to the parents, and for me, it was a revelation. I suddenly realized the power of technology to actually benefit or impact the lives of those children who were left behind. Sometimes the best journeys aren't the ones we take, but the ones we stumble upon. I literally stumbled upon this program called Women Startup Program, which is by NSRCell IIM Bangalore, which is a CSR initiative of Kotak Mahindra Bank. I was scrolling through social media casually when I came across this ad and applied on the very last day. When we got through, I was very excited. So this program has been actually the turning point in my journey as an entrepreneur. Kotak Mahindra Bank has played a pivotal role in this journey, because it is during this incubation at NSRCell that I actually transitioned from a clinician to a founder with a vision. Here I found a supportive ecosystem and an inspiring community of like-minded women founders who went on to become my biggest cheerleaders. The grant we received from Kotak Mahindra Bank actually helped us build our first prototype, and it was also validation that we were on the right path. It is really rare that financial institutions like this support and fund such ideas. So it was during this program we started ideating about scaling our impact. So after countless brainstorming sessions with my mentors, we came up with this vision of an e-learning platform for speech therapy. A simple, practical tool that can empower parents, caregivers, or teachers to become active partners in a child's communication journey. When my limited grasp of technology began to slow us down, my husband actually stepped in, and together we co-created SpeechAlly, an innovative e-learning platform to democratize access to speech therapy. SpeechAlly, with its structured and automated gamified activities and video tutorials combined with teletherapy sessions, can ensure faster progress. With the help of SpeechAlly, early intervention can be done from as early as 1 year of age. Today, we have served a diverse population of children from across urban and semi-urban areas in over 10 countries. We have conducted more than 40,000 teletherapy sessions in multiple languages. We have also partnered with various schools, NGOs, therapy centers, etc., to expand our impact to newer geographies. Once a bubbly 5-year-old child attended our online session along with her mother, and her mother told us that this girl used to cry so much to go to school every single day. The teachers also informed them that she would sit in one corner and cry in school as well. After a lot of probing, it was found out that this little girl was excluded from play by her classmates because she couldn't communicate well. Soon after, she started attending therapy sessions, and her speech started becoming clearer, her confidence grew, and she actually started waking up excitedly to go to school every morning. This was a breakthrough in the life of that little girl. Similarly, when a parent of a previously non-verbal child tells us that this boy is now reciting poems on stage, or a child who used to have daily meltdowns is now sitting calmly through a church service, these are all moments that remind us of why we do what we do and what keeps us moving forward. I became an entrepreneur not because I had it all figured out. It just happened and I went with the flow. First, it was all about creating awareness. Then it was about dealing with the fear, loneliness, uncertainty, rejections, sleepless nights, and imposter syndrome. Being a woman founder was even more difficult. On some days, I just wanted to give up. But slowly, things started changing. All that heart I poured into this work started to show. Children's lives were being transformed. More support came our way, more support and recognition in the way of accelerator programs and grants. And most importantly, those people who mattered most to me, my family and my friends, actually started seeing the impact I was creating. They were proud, not just of what I was building, what I was becoming as well. This journey actually gave me a voice and increased my self-belief. Many people often ask me what is it that I love most about being an entrepreneur. As crazy as it may sound, it is actually the unpredictability of it all. As a person who used to get so bored with monotony of routine, I truly believe that this is where I was meant to be. This journey has taught me that success means different things for different people. And for me, it's about the grit to keep pushing forward no matter how many hurdles come my way. After all, it's not about the destination, it's about the journey. Today I urge you, do not wait for people to believe in you. Start believing in yourself. Be the first one to dare to dream. If you truly believe in your why, you'll definitely find your how. We at Phonologics are on a mission to support those children irrespective of wherever they are and however they communicate. And I invite you all to join us in this mission. Spread awareness for early intervention and various early childhood challenges. Together, let's create an inclusive society where no child's voice is unheard. Thank you.